Sooner, everybody. My name is Harry James Taylor. Before we talk about the Bedlam matchup coming up, or that has just passed, I'd like to say, first of all, congratulations to our fearless leader out in Norman, our great athletic director at the University of Oklahoma, Joe Castiglione. He won the Toner Award for the Athletic Director of the Year this evening. Could not have happened to a better AD, in my opinion. This is a guy that will stick his neck out for you. And if you're an OU basketballer, like me and my dad are, and you're a follower of the basketball program, you know about the Jeff Capel situation and how that really didn't go great those last couple of years. And Joe Castiglione did what he had to do. Did what he felt necessary and took care of that situation and did not feel real good about it. But he stuck his neck out for his team. He stuck his neck out for his players, and we can't ask for a better fearless leader than Joe Castiglione, the athletic director at the University of Oklahoma. Congratulations, you deserve it, Joe. As far as one of Joe's fearless leaders that he hired, Bob Stoops and his troops made the short trip up to Stillwater. And, well, Pistol Pete just didn't have enough bullets in his gun this time as the Schooner Sooner runs over Pistol Pete. The 17th ranked Sooners and the 6th ranked Cowboys of Oklahoma State with a final of 33-24 Sooner Boomers. The statistical standings looked like this for Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. For the Sooners, Blake Bell had 140 yards passing and 1 touchdown in the game. Clint Shelf on the other side had 200 yards, 1 touchdown, and a pick. The leading rusher for each side, Brennan Clay, did it again for Oklahoma. 24 carries, 74 yards, and 0 touches. Rushing was Desmond Rowland. Rowland had 21 carries, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the Oklahoma Sooner win. Receiving wise, the Schooner Sooner, Sterling Shepard. He had 7 catches, 112 yards in the victory, but he did not have a touchdown pass. On the other side, the guy that said that, quote, he won't lose Bedlam again, unquote, in a tweet, Josh Stewart. He did a lot for his club, including 6 catches for 68 yards, but didn't have a touchdown pass. Defensively, for the Cowboys, Dominique Alexander made his way up to the northern part of the state, where he graduated from high school in Tulsa, and finished with 10 tackles, but yet 0 turnovers. And the defensive star for Oklahoma State, Daytwan Lowe, 9 tackles and 0 turnovers. The leading kickers for each side, Michael Honeycutt and Ben Grogan, Honeycutt was 2 for 2 on the night with a 21-yarder and a long of 39 yards, not to include a short touchdown pass on a fake field goal. Ben Grogan was 1 for 1 with a long of 41 yards on the evening. The punting for each side, Jed Barnett and Kip Smith. Jed Barnett of Oklahoma had 7 total punts, averaging 36.3 yards an average. 42 was his long, and 3 of the 7 punts landed at the 20-yard line, or inside the 20, I'm sorry. Kip Smith had 5 punts. He averaged 37.1 an average. 49 was his long, and 1 of them laid within the 20-yard line. The scoring for each side started out like this, and it started quickly. With 4 minutes left, Oklahoma State University got the poke chokes on the board. Desmond Rowland, a 1-yard touchdown, 7-0 Cowboys, with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. A little bit later in the quarter, after a 3-and-out, Jalen Saunders had a 64-yard punt return for a touchdown with 18 seconds and tied the ball game 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Into the second we go, where those two of the 3 field goals that were hit were made, and that's it. Grogan hit the first one, a 41-yarder, giving the Cowboys the lead again, 17-10 with 8:40 left in the game for Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma was not to be outdone, with Michael Honeycutt, their own kicker, kicking a 21-yarder with 38 seconds left to tie the game up at 10-10 going into halftime without their starter, Trevor Knight, who went out with an injury. Second half. Clint Shelf and Desmond Rowland hooked up, this time through the air. Shelf had a 15-yard touchdown pass to Desmond Rowland. 17-10 Cowboys with 13:18 left in the third quarter. But with 2:35 left, Big Game Bob came back again, snuck out his creepy little head on the same drive that Oklahoma didn't end around. This time, it was a fake field goal. That's right, a fake field goal. With Grant Bopham hitting a touchdown pass to Michael Honeycutt, tying the ball game up 17-17 with 2:35 left in the ball game. In the fourth quarter, Michael Honeycutt gets back to his normal job of kicking, and with 10:01 left in the fourth quarter, kicked a 39-yard field goal to give the Sooners the lead, 20-17 Sooners. Later in that game, though, Desmond Rowland said, you know what, we can win the Big 12 championship, and put the Cowboys in position to do so. Because with a .46 left, Desmond Rowland ran in for a 1-yard touchdown to give the Cowboys the lead, 24-20 Sooners. But then, as I said, Trevor Knight got injured. And then they let Kendall Thompson play in the third. In the third quarter, the offense was anemic. It didn't get a lot done. So there comes Blake Bell. So, with that being said, Blake Bell works himself down the field, and with 19 seconds left, the Sooners take the lead back and say there's no Big 12 championship in Stillwater this year, with a 7-yard touchdown pass to the Cowboy Killer, Blake Bell to Jalen Saunders. 27-24 Sooners with 19 seconds left. But on the final play of the game, Clint Shelf found Moore up the field. Moore pitches it back to the other Moore that tried to pitch it back to Shelf, and Shelf couldn't pick it up. But Eric Stryker picked it up for a 2-yard touchdown recovery, and touchdown Sooners 33-24 your final score. The injury report for each team. There were no major injuries in the game for Oklahoma State, but for Oklahoma, of course, Trevor Knight with that finger that had him leave the game in the first half. Heupel's hype of the game was the final play of the game, offensively for the Sooners, when Blake Bell had a 7-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Saunders, a.k.a. the Cowboy Kick Killer, with 19 seconds left, giving the Sooners the lead 27-24. And Stupes's stop of the night was the final play of the game, the fumble recovery by Eric Stryker that he ran in for a touchdown to give the final score 33-24 Sooners. Defensively, don't make mistakes. Nice job on that, boys. Only one turnover. And that one turnover was a turnover by a freshman, a sophomore, throwing his first ever pass in big-time college football. He threw the now, given that Kendall threw a pass against Iowa State and everything, but at that time the game was over. But so as far as meaningful time in the game, this was it. It was an interception, but that was the only turnover. And by the way, it was his first real pass in real time of college football. Defense, they didn't let him get beat deep very much. The touchdown pass was 1 yard for Desmond Rowland. Another 1 yard for Desmond Rowland, a touchdown run. So great job on that, boys. Not letting them get beat too deep down the field. Considering how they played last weekend, the weekend before, against the kid from Tulsa that plays for Kansas State. And special teams, Michael Honeycutt, 2 for 2, and a fake. That, by the way, worked. Great job, fellas. Great job. Oh, by the way, going back to the defense, they did cause 2 costly turnovers. They got a touchdown, interception, of course, and the stop that really sealed it. Back to special teams, Nick Hodgson and company, 8 kickoffs. 2 of them were touchbacks by Hodgson, and Jed Barnett, good on punts all night long. Did not even let Stewart get close to it. I don't even know if the other Gundy had him back there. It doesn't matter who he had back there. Jed Barnett just did an amazing job. And my hat's off also to Trey Franks, who now wears number 7 for Corey, for what an amazing job he did also, particularly on those first 2 punts by Barnett, downing the ball at the 1 yard line. So, in recap, first of all, big props, my hat's off, and a huge congratulations to our leader, our guy, Joe Castiglione, for what he has accomplished at the University of Oklahoma and for becoming the athletic director of the year in college football. In college athletics, not just college football. And as far as college football is concerned, the Oklahoma Sooners, 17th ranked in the country, go up to Stillwater, and they upset the Cowboys, the number 6 Oklahoma State Cowboys, 33-24 in Stillwater. The Sooners' next game has been announced, which will be their bowl trip. They are 10-2, and they will face a 10-1 Alabama in New Orleans on January the 2nd for the Sugar Bowl Championship in SEC country. I'll be there. I hope you will too. And I'll say this too real quick. If you are heading down there, be sure that you have some sort of a white OU polo or t-shirt or coat or jacket or slick or something, because that's the color that Oklahoma will wear. That's the color that Gabe Ikard and all the Sooners will be in their cream. Alabama will be the Crimson team for this particular matchup between Oklahoma and Alabama. I'll let you know more on that in the Sugar Bowl pregame show. Until then, take care, everyone. And as always, this is our state for at least one more year in college football, because the Oklahoma Sooners upset the Oklahoma State Cowboys 33-24 in Stillwater. Until next time, take care, everyone. And as always, Boomer Sooner.